Hey, it's Part 64 guy. Yes, we're in the bathroom again. So, a few videos ago, I showed you how to replace the flush handle on the toilet. Well, a day or two ago, give a listen. So it sounds like the seal in the main flush valve is not properly sealing anymore, and we're getting a little bit of leakage of water, which is obviously going to cause waste and whatnot. So there's a couple of fixes here. Given the age of this stuff, I'm going to actually just do a replacement, but I'll show you what you could possibly do as a interim as well. So first thing we're going to do, take the top off the tank. Okay, so inside here is a seal. When the tank flushes and the water goes down, the valve opens. When that pops back up, the valve closes and that seal keeps the water from running. That is not happening anymore. On this particular valve, which is, I'm going to guess from Fluid Master, you can actually replace that seal. If you pop this off, this seal can actually be replaced. So you can take this out and you can buy a replacement one of these. I'm just going to replace this whole thing because I figured that would make for a more fun video. So first thing we're going to do is turn off the water supply. So we'll start by rotating this. Depending on the age of this valve, you may get some leakage. It may drip a little bit. Some of these older valves, especially in the older houses, can do that. You may also have not just a multi-turn, you may actually have a quarter turn where you only have to turn it a quarter of the way to shut it off. So just keep that in mind. As you can see, or as you can hear, the leaking sound has stopped. Next thing we have to do is drain the tank. I'm going to hold the valve open because I want the tank to completely drain. And it won't completely drain on its own, so we'll have to give it a little help with the sponge. So first thing, let's get to removing the valve. So this is a compression fitting. We're going to undo this. Most of this stuff is usually finger tight. If you wrench tighten it, that's usually when things crack and break and leak all over the place. So we just undo this. Now I'm going to get a towel or a bucket to get that down. All right, so now this guy. Towel here, see if I can get a little better grip. Nope. Okay, so I will use a little bit of persuasion to get it off. Gently, you do not want to crack the tank. Okay, there we go. Okay, now that screw is out, we can pop this off. There we go. And that whole thing comes out. Just clean up the tank a little bit. Get rid of some of that nasty stuff. Part of having this produce a good, clean, tight seal is making sure that the surface around this hole is clean. All right, so here is the replacement. It's a full kit with the valve and the flapper. This one opens a lot easier than the handle did. remember from that video. Okay, so this has an adjustable height, so we'll have to adjust that before putting it in. So if we look here, Universal Plumbing Code says that the critical mark right here needs to be 1 inch above the top of the fill tube of the tank, and that puts this top surface 3 inches above. So we're going to measure that and make sure we're at the right height first. If not, this is adjustable. So we'll twist this per the instructions to adjust it. What else? And before we do that, we need the washer so we can get the right height. Okay, so let's put this in, and as you can see, it's pretty short, so we know we have to lift it up. Yeah, if we eyeball it here, it's only about 1 inch, so we have to go 2 inches. That's about 1 inch. That's also about the height that the old valve was. So, okay, and then we're going to align this. We need to make sure that the refill tube nipple is coming out towards the tube. Now that that's in place, we put the retaining nut on. Oops. Helps when that's not in the way. Finger tight. You want to make sure it's tight enough to compress that seal, and then it's got a little bit of corrosion on it. May have to replace this as well if it leaks. I did not buy a new one of these, so we'll see. If it leaks, I'll replace it. Okay, next thing now is replace the flapper valve. So I didn't really explain this in the last video, but the way these work is you have air trapped in here, so when you lift this and it breaks the suction, the air will make this try to float, so it'll float up, and then as the water level drops, it will come down, get drawn into the drain hole, and get sucked into place. So these are pretty straightforward. Every toilet brand is different. These happen to just pop straight off. Just trying to stay clear of the camera. Okay, those just pop off, and this comes out of the way. Just pull that out. And this just snaps into place. Now check your brand of toilet. They may be different. They may have a different way of mounting, but that's pretty much it. And now this, we want about a 1/2 inch of play, but remember you also have this hook on here. So we're gonna go to right about probably here. And then we'll pop this into here. Okay. And you can see there it is. Okay, so the refill tube, what this does pull this out a little bit and drop it into place. And then this we're going to have to trim to size, so this goes onto here. Gently, just ease it on. Okay, according to the instructions, it wants to have a slight arch. So if we do this, that should be good because it'll be just under the top of the tube. Just pry this open a little bit and stick it down on there. And that's it. So that is what's going to allow the bowl to refill after the flush. Turn on the water. And check for leaks. So far so good. A little bit of water on there, but that could be from drips from the pipe. As this fills, we'll have to check and see when it stops and adjust the water fill level as needed. As you can see here, this is the water going in to fill up the bowl. Not bad, that's right about where we want it. It's a little above what the label on the toilet had said for water line. So I'd say we're good. Okay, looks good. Put the lid back on. Just have to clean up the tools, clean up the mess, and we're done. So for a few minutes of time and like 15 bucks at the hardware store, toilet's back up and running again and should be good for a long time now. New components, so I shouldn't have to worry about them. So hopefully this was educational, give you an idea of how simple some of these repairs can be, and that they could be within your level of ability and level of comfort. And hopefully I was able to inspire some people to say, hey, I can do that. But always as usual, know your limits, and if you're not comfortable, don't be afraid to call on the professionals. But at least when you do call somebody in, you've got an idea of what's supposed to be done, and that way you can make sure that things are being done correctly. So again, thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can let you know when I post another video. And until the next one comes out, thank you so much for watching. This is Par 64 Guy. See you later.